Just like every other major region in Siege, the Asia-Pacific region is getting a league revamped to help bring other areas of the world more exposure to the highest levels of Siege competitive play. In addition to combining Aipac's 4 previous subregions into 2 main divisions, Ubisoft is also expanding the list of applicable countries to the region and will continue to work with ESL to handle tournament organization and production responsibilities. We've obviously covered the other 3 leagues in separate videos, but the Aipac League has been announced for a while, and apparently there are still some people who are confused about how it works, so let's break everything down. Let's start with the division split. Rather than the old system which had Southeast Asia, Japan, Korea, and Australia and New Zealand split into their own Pro League seasons, everything has now been combined into just 2 divisions. Aipac North contains Korea, Japan, and additional Asian countries that were previously under that Southeast Asia designation. This includes Thailand, Singapore, Taiwan, Indonesia, the Philippines, and Malaysia. It's 12 teams total, and they play in a Swiss format, and if you're unfamiliar with what Swiss is, it means it's a best-of-1 format where every team will have their first round matchups randomized, but every other match afterwards, teams will play against teams with the same or similar records to help keep things even. Once teams are halfway through the stage, so at week 6, the ratio will get refreshed and each team will start with randomized opponents again, but wins and losses will matter more after the refresh to help avoid any tiebreaker problems. The teams in Aipac North are Cloud9, Giants Gaming, Cyclops Athlete Gaming, Norengo, QConfirm, Fave Gaming, Xavier Esports, ScarZ, Guts Gaming, Talon Esports, Electrify Esports, and FNATIC. More on that in a second. Aipac South has another 2 subdivisions within it to help separate the competition a little bit more. The Oceanic Nationals feature Australia, New Zealand, and all countries within Polynesian areas of the region, and the South Asian Nationals feature teams from Bangladesh, India, Nepal, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. Both of these nationals are 8 teams, with Oceania having a round-robin best-of-1 format and South Asia having a double-elimination best-of-3 format. The top 3 teams from Oceania and the best team from South Asia will meet at the Aipac South playoffs at the end of every stage.
Look, I get Ubisoft probably has a good reason for doing it this way, but this is such a nightmare to explain.
The overall point of this is that every stage ends with an Aipac Playoff. It features 6 teams from Aipac North and 2 teams from Aipac South, and they play in a double elimination bracket, and the 4 teams that win 2 matches apiece are the ones heading to the corresponding 6 major. Every team that goes to the playoff will still get invitational points even if they don't qualify for the major. And just like every other region, they'll also have a regional finals LAN event at the end of every season. The 3 best teams from the North and the best team from the South play in a single elimination bracket with a best-of-5 grand final to determine one overall Aipac champion for that season. And also, like every other region, there's still the possibility of relegation out of the league if a team places low enough. The bottom 4 teams in the North will be subject to relegation matches depending on if there's a national league where they are based, in which case they play the winner of that national league to keep their spot in Aipac North. The South being comprised of Oceanic and South Asia programs means there's not an exact relegation system, but if you make it to either of those 2 leagues, then you have a shot to get to Aipac South, provided your team places high enough.
I think that's it. I could have very well missed something in here, but it's unlikely given that I think it sounds more complex than it actually is.
The big points to take away are that Japan, Korea, and most of Southeast Asia have been combined into Aipac North, and Aipac South includes less chances because of the addition of countries that haven't had nearly as much time in the scene. Think of the South like the old Aipac subregion system, but a little less confusing. Remember when Aipac Pro League had all 4 different subregions? Now, it only has 2 divisions, but one of them is just split to allow more teams from elsewhere in the world a chance to play at the highest level. But what about FNATIC? Why are they in Aipac North and not down in Oceania with the rest of Australia? The basic idea is they were invited. They mysteriously withdrew from the Six Masters tournament a couple months ago before it began, and it's because the team was planning to move to Japan to compete with everybody else in Aipac North. The SiegeGG article on this cites the reason for doing so as the hope of increasing their competitive opportunities in the region, and considering they've been first place in Australia and New Zealand Pro League for the past 3 seasons and second place the season before that, maybe moving to a different region can help give them a different challenge. I haven't been able to tell if they've actually made the move to Japan yet because of COVID-19 travel restrictions, so they could be playing on higher than average ping in Australia to start the season off, but we'll just have to add it to the pile of things that aren't going well at the moment and hope that we can clear up any issues as we move along. The Asia Pacific League kicks off on Tuesday, June the 23rd, and if somehow this video still is confusing to you, it's okay. Just watch the games, listen to the casters explain it, and it'll all make sense eventually. I hope, anyway. That is all from me. Hit up my Twitter, my Twitch, and this YouTube channel for more in the coming days, please and thank you, and I may or may not be working on merch designs at the moment. Nah, just kidding. You guys wouldn't give me money. Who would do that? Certainly not YouTube. Peace.